Shavua Tov Mevarach. Today in Mishnah Yomi land, we enter chapter 10, the final parak of Bava Metzia. We are quickly catching up to Daf Yomi. Daf Yomi is kind of towards the end of Bava Batra right now, so we're going to lap them pretty soon. Anyway, we're in chapter Yud, Mishnah Aleph. Habayit ve'aliyah shel shnayim shenaflu. There was a house with an attic on top and upper floor, and one person owns the bottom, one person owns the upper floor, and it fell down. Buildings were not always as strong as they are nowadays. Shneim cholkin, they divide be'etzim, the wood, of avonim, and the stones, of afar, and the dirt, whatever they can use and recycle to rebuild their homes. They divide these materials, and then they get to rebuilding. And the Gemara explains, of course, this is prorated. If they're both the same size, they split it equally. If the upper floor was half the size of the bottom floor would take 2/3. Now, what about if some of the stones are broken? Mishnah adds, "V'roim elu evonim ha'oyed lishtaber." We have to see if these stones were roi, if they were, fit to be destroyed in the way it fell down. So sometimes the top floor will fall off kind of to the side at an angle, and the top stones will break. Sometimes it will collapse in such a way that the bottom stones will be more likely to break. So they do sort of a forensic evaluation. They get an engineer come out there and figure out how it fell and which stones are more likely to be the broken ones. And if the bottom stones are more likely to be broken, well, the bottom guy gets the broken pieces, and the top guy would get the complete pieces. If one of the owners recognizes his stones, it was painted a certain color, maybe his kids were charting their height on one of the stones, and he sees that, Notlan, he could take that specific stone, those specific parts, and it counts towards his percentage of the total. On to Mishnah Bet, Habayit ve'aliyah shel shnayim. There is a home and an upper level belonging to two different people. In this case, the man living in the bottom floor owns both parts, and he's renting out the top floor. So nifchata ha'aliyah. So what if the upper story sort of collapsed? It became unlivable. Maybe the ceiling was bowing down, and there's not enough space really to live. And the owner of this home doesn't want to fix the upper floor to make it livable. Then hare balaliyah, so the man renting the upper floor, yared v'dar lamata, he's allowed to come and live at the bottom level. Lo at until the owner fixes up the upper floor and makes it livable again. Now the Bartanura here cites from the Gemara, this is a specific case where the landlord said, Aliyah zu, this upper level, sha'al gabe bayit zeh, which is on top of this house. If he says this lashon, then he's obligated to provide the renter this attic on top of this house. So if this attic is no longer livable, he's also, been mishabed, obligated himself that the renter could live in the bayit underneath as well. But if he just said, I'm going to rent you out an attic, well, if he doesn't want to rebuild the attic, he could have the renter, either get a refund or the landlord could rent him an attic in another location of equal size. Rabbi Yossi adds to this situation where you have to repair the ceiling of the upper floor. He says, "Hatachton noten et hatikra." The lower occupant, the landlord, he provides the wood, the structural components. Ve'elyon et ma'ziva. The one residing in the upper floor, the renter, he would provide the plaster. In his view, the plaster isn't really needed for a structural reason. It's just to make the floor flat and more conducive, more easy to walk on. So therefore, the landlord just provides the basic floor, and the tenant of the upper level would make it smooth. Shua Tov, sei gesund.